Hello everyone, name is John and today I will teach you how to make custom game modes for Mindwave. So first of all you might wanna watch this tutorial on how to download Undertale mod tool. It lets you mod Mindwave and download its assets, sprites and sounds, etc. But after you've done that, you wanna go to here and press the third tab and then press this option. You'll be at the Mindwave folder. So what you wanna do is open data.win. It will bring you here. So this is the main modding tool. I won't talk much because I'm bad at talking, so just watch these steps. Okay. So first of all, you might wanna find Shuffle and open it in a new tab. Be useful in a second. Then you will start doing your own. So in scripts, oh sorry, I made it wrong. You press scripts and in here you find it. So you might want you have to name it game char and that's your name. Like the name of the game mode you're making. My game mode will be called Catchy.
Catchy.
Yeah. So you press this and now you're in here. Now the first part is very important because if you do this wrong, it might get stuck and you will not be able to save. So you say function and if you did it right, it will look like this. Now this will turn orange once you finish everything. Now you will get an error when making this because I forgot to copy this. Basically copy the entirety of Shuffle except the orange code because it will destroy itself sometimes. So after you're done, you edit the name and put your own name. So instead of Shuffle, I will put here Catchy. And here, this will be the ID of endless score. Catchy. And you can basically edit anything you want. So for example, if you wanna level up at 10, you can put it at 10. This is the gimmick chance, so like upside down. Editing this won't do anything. Like if you delete pop-ups from here, they will still be in here because it's broken. I think, I don't know. You can change sounds per speed up amount, let me say 1. The usual amount is this, but yeah, I'm just making it. Let's make it 4. And this doesn't do anything because there's no boss in Shuffle, but yeah, maybe this is some leftover code. So then you have this. Now this is what we're gonna have to check out soon. So first you go to game car future. By the way, this saved, and as you can see there are no errors, which means that you did it right. So you open game car future, and here you have this. You copy this if you wanna have your own micro game list, and you look for combo time. This basically is very finicky. If you edit this, there's a big chance that your game will just crash trying to load a micro game. So you delete the whole thing and just do this. And on my own game mode, I have these micro games. You can find micro games basically in Game Jar Future, Game Jar Sparkle, and Tutorial. These are the ones that have lists. And this is the timer script, basically what timer will appear. And next is, now after you do this, there's a high chance the game will break, since I don't really know a better way, so you will have to edit a few more lines of code, because right now the game will crash trying to load a second micro game. So win sound is broken for some reason. I've tested it. So you go to Sparkle, for example, Sparkle. You go to sounds. It doesn't have to be Sparkle. You can do tutorial or anything. You copy the choose win sound. You return to your catchy. You can close future. You can even close shuffle. So we have a win sound and now the lose sound. And yeah, this is basically when the speedups stop. Speaking of speedups, there's one more variable that isn't really visible, is max speed. You can set it to whatever you want. So you can set it to 1, which is the basic, 2.17, which is the regular max speed. 1 is basically where you start, and 3 is the speed limit on simple game modes. I will set it to, let's say, 5, because why not? I'm just showing off stuff. So you check stuff, and yeah, leave it open for now, because we might have to change stuff if the game crashes. So next up, you search for charselect, and let's say you copy from shuffle again. Then we close sparkle, because we will not need sparkle anymore. So you do the same as you did previously, that is, copy this and make a new thing called charselect, and then your game mode name, and then you press create. So for this you do the same. Function charselect catchy. I actually don't remember this, that's why I made a screenshot. And here you replace your name with you replace shuffle with your name, catchy. And this is the sprite of the name. We'll get to it eventually, but first and this is important, this basically loads game modes. So we replace shuffle with catchy and it will be orange, which means that you successfully added your catchy game mode, or whatever you named it. This will be the leaderboard ID, and please do not use this tutorial to cheat or anything, okay? Catchy. If you are unsure if you missed anything, you can hold Ctrl and press F and search for shuffle. This is the background sprite. Red text basically is values or images. You can change images to whatever image in the game you want. However, these ones, if you change them, they will crash the game unless you make something very close to them. We'll get to it. So, images. Okay, and after you're done, you're not done yet actually. Because now you have character to local store ID. If you don't edit this, your game will crash once you lose. Or will lose, there's no winning. So you do it like this and add your game mode. Catchy. And after you add your game mode, the game will no longer crash after losing. There's one more thing that you go to this thing and you add your game mode here. If you don't add your game mode here, it will just not appear in game. So after you've done everything I just showed you, you can save and select your data win, and then you can test it if it crashes. If it crashes, then it means you've done something wrong. It appears as shuffle because I haven't changed anything, but you can change the values of the spinning things, etc. Right, so if it's that I made a mistake, it's about the timer. You might sometimes wanna change stuff. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Usually setting stuff to sparkle works. So yeah, Abby for the win. Actually, one of those is probably catchy. I don't know which one is catchy, so I'm gonna guess that it's 4. And now the game should work, hopefully. I don't want this tutorial to be very long. I hope it works. As you can see, here you have your game mode. My custom game mode is the catchy game mode. It has all the catch micro games. It is no micro game is not in fact catch. It's grab. I will have to delete that micro game. There's a few more things that I will show off, so feel free to skip this part of me playing the game if you wanna learn more stuff. You can see the combo time works, even though we deleted the combo time thing. That's because it... Actually, I don't know why. I'm not really a great... not really that good of a coder. But yeah, this is how you make it. Can change the textures to see... Yeah, let me just... So there are a few sprites. Let me just get some random Abby sprite because yeah. Because so to, for example, change sprites, you just edit this. There is one more important thing that I will tell you. I don't know what micro game count does, but yeah. Remember to save your projects from time to time and remember to back it up, to make backups. Because sometimes after you make something crash, you might not be able to return it without resetting your thing. That's why you should make backups. So as you can see, you can change the icon. So now the more important stuff, that is, as you could see from me, I had to add the max speed variable. So how does the game know what is the usual max speed if it's gone? There's this thing called game character constructor. This is basically the thing that the game uses to determine stuff. So for example, oh wait, yeah. So for example, if you don't have a max speed variable, it just looks for the max speed variable in here. which is 218. And this is how it works with basically every variable. So if there are no microgames, it will resort to the template microgame, which I don't think you can win. It's a secret microgame that usually crashes your game. If you don't have, and I think this is what breaks it, because even if you edit the gimmick pool in your thing, so for example, if you delete flip, the upside down will still appear, same with combo. So how do you get rid of combo? Now this is a tough thing because you will have to copy the entirety of this, which is the code for spawning ads, for spawning basically anything, and you'd have to put it in your game character and fiddle with it. I usually I fail doing this, but I did it once, so it's possible. I want to do it now though. So yeah. And one last thing that I can show off, that is how to add the textures. So let's say you want the funny background to change during the oops. Let's say you wanna add some new backgrounds to your charselect. Okay, I'm sorry for being so slow. This is basically the end of the tutorial, but you can watch. Yeah. So let's say instead of these figments, you want your own textures to spin. You can change the speed of the spin. So for example, you can do 10, 16, 21, 25, and let's say 32. This counts. You can set it to less, but if you set it to more than this, a large chance the game will just crash when trying to load. And this distance is, I think, the distance away from the middle of the screen. These are the spinny thingies in the shuffle thing. So you can actually change them, but it's tough. So let me show you how. So first off, you search for the figments. So let's say I want to change the middle figments. So you open them in a new tab. And as you can see, there are 4 textures to them. Of course, instead of replacing them, because this will also replace them for shuffle, make your own. So let's make sprite, charselect, and pigment. Yeah. So you create your own and you basically copy everything. So first off, textures. This is quite a complicated thing. So first off, you need a texture. To have a texture, you must find a texture page. So you add your own texture page. And to add a texture to your texture page, you must add an embedded texture. It is quite a long task. But yeah, then you search for your textures. Let me just get some random Abby textures real quick. Let's say this. Let's say I want this head to appear. And actually I changed my mind. I don't want a figment 0, I want figments 2 because there's 8 of them. So let me open figments 2. Yeah. Once you have this, you look for the texture name, so it's 65 embedded texture, and you can basically close it. So now for the texture thing, you drag it and you put it in here, and as you can see, it's here. I don't know how big it is. So let's say 250 by 250, 70. Yeah, 250 by 270. And in here you basically put the same thing. Usually you might want to look around for the texture size, but I won't do that. And yeah, once the whole thing is highlighted, you have it. So now you look at the name of here and it's 3654. 3654. And once you close it, it's automatically saved. So you take texture page item here and you have it. Now Figments 2 has 11 textures, if I counted correctly. So you want it to have exactly 11 textures. Let me just recalculate it. Yeah, 11. You can have the same page item as the texture, but be wary, if you edit this, you will edit all of them. Once you've done it, you copy the name and you put it where it was originally in your game mode. And now it should work. Let me save and check it. And as you can see, you have these big heads. Now, of course, these are way too big. These textures are like super small, so this is why this looks weird, because it's much bigger than it should be. So make sure your texture size is not super big, because these are like, I don't know, not big textures. But yeah, this is how you add new textures, and basically that's all I wanted to show today. Maybe I'll make a part 2, probably not. And yeah, bye bye.